Well, good Friday morning to you. Chris Hare, the world champion crypto cowboy, bringing you a morning update on Ethereum. I hope you have a great weekend planned. I've got a lot going on at the ranch, going to be around, so I'm going to throw out quite a few videos this weekend and keep you guys up to date on exactly what's happening. But let's get into Ethereum. Kind of made an interesting move over the past couple of days. It has been down. Are we finished with that down? Well, we're going to break into it when we get into these charts. Currently, we're sitting at a 50.31 on the Crypto Fear and Greed Index. This measures market sentiment. It tells us what's going on with everybody. Are they scared? Are they euphoric? Where are we? Well, as most of you already know, we're in fear. We were at 34 yesterday, moved down to 31 today. But what I'll tell you, and a strategy that I use that works pretty well, is that when we drop into these fears, I buy. I make small little spot purchases, and when we get into extreme fear, I make a few more spot purchases and maybe a little heavier. But you can see what happens every time we fall into fear. We shoot straight up out of it. And then once we get into greed and extreme greed, I start DCAing out of those trades. And it's a strategy that works pretty well for me. You might want to check it out. If you have any questions, leave us a comment, and I'll address those as I get them. But if you're enjoying the video, go ahead and like, subscribe, hit the bell notification. You'll get notifications as soon as we upload a video. And moving on to the Ethereum liquidation heat map, this shows market liquidity. This is what the market makers use to draw the charts. Anything above price action is a short trade. Anything below price action is a long trade. And the market makers just work back and forth, grabbing liquidity, looking for your liquidation points. They don't care. They just want your money. You can see liquidations to the downside are just about non-existent at this point. Cumulatively, $493 million worth of long liquidations. But to the short side, guys, $1.81 billion. So I do think we have a run up here. I'm still on the fence if it's the run or if this is just a relief rally. Let's leave it at that. But let's get into the charts. That'll tell us a whole lot more of what's going on. I'm going to start off with an hourly since it's a later video and it's a Friday. What I do tell you is here in about 2 or 3 hours, Texas time, volume falls off, and it falls off through the weekend. So I don't really trade these, but it kind of made sense what's going on here. I went ahead and pulled up the hourly because I wanted you to see what's going on. And we're working up, and the golden zone for the hourly is right here at this daily 50 smooth moving average. So the yellow line is a 50 simple moving average. The white line is a 50 smooth moving average, and the 200 is red. What these do is they take a culmination of 50 or 200 of these candles, put a fluid line on the chart. They work as excellent support and resistance. I like the smooth moving average because the charts really respect it. If you get a rejection, the rejection's usually strong, and if you find support above it, most of the times you stay there and kind of work the other way. But what I think's going on here is probably today we're going to come back down, try to retest this fair value gap sitting at about 108,700, and then we're going to work up to this 50. I think it's a retest, and daily retests on a downside move and even on an upside move, they take a few days to play out. So that's kind of where I'm at. When we get up here, we'll get into these higher time frames because you'll kind of see what I'm going on. Moving on to the 4-hour chart. You can see we're in the 4-hour golden zone, which kind of works as a no trade zone for me anyway. So it kind of works out. I'm probably going to stay risk off most of the weekend because what happens is we'll run up here and then Sunday we come back and we're right where we started anyway. So it's just kind of a waste of time to me. I can get a lot more things done at home. But looking at the 4-hour chart, we tried to lose the 4-hour golden zone, and we've now reclaimed it, and we're working up. The 50 smooth moving average on the daily sits at 39.70. That's also where your 50 simple moving average and your 50 smooth moving average on the 4-hour sit. So if we can get above these and get a good retest over this equilibrium, I think our next move is up, 4,300 to 4,600. My gut says we reject here and we go to find lower targets. That's kind of what I think, but I'm not holding out judgment just yet. I think at some point we come down here to this red line, which is the weekly 50 smooth moving average. Actually, it's we'll have to look at that. It's marked, but I don't know what it is. But we've got our extensions here at 3,080 to 2643. The bottom of the trend, the weekly 50 moving average is sitting right here. So I think this is probably where we bounce to make our bigger run. If we don't, and we reclaim this 50, 43.85 to 46.43, if we can clear that, 5,300 to 59.21, and I'm going to pull a bunch of heavy profit off my spot bags at that point. Moving out to the daily, get a better idea of this bull flag, what's going on, where we are, kind of get a better idea of bottom targets. Like I said, the 50 moving average is here. The 50 SMA, smooth, simple moving average, is up at the top of that channel. So what we need to see to go for more upside is we need to break out of this channel. We'll have some kind of retest. Then we're going to move on up to this 618786 between 4418, 4702. And I think that's likely that you probably clear it from there and head to 5,500 to 6,100 with an opportunity of about $7,800. Like I said, I think this is really the bounce point. The weekly is going to show this. I just want to show you that real quick. I left Smart Money Concepts on because they're showing you where the support is. But like I said, all this support sits right in this area, right here. You can see the 50 simple moving average, the 50 smooth moving average, the bottom of the channel. You're in a fair value gap. This is where I think we make our run. And then we head on up to those upper targets. Like I said, 59 to 71. I'll pull a ton of profit off my spot bag. The 2.618 sits at 10,700. So we can't rule that target out. Measuring, I think it's a possibility that we get there. I'm not prepared to talk about what happens if we lose these 50 moving averages. Then I think we end up setting ourselves up for some kind of lower high if we can't reclaim this 200 smooth moving average. There's some validations right around $2,500 that would have me concerned, but that's where I am for today. But that gives you a pretty good idea of what's going on with Ethereum for the next. It should get you through the weekend and probably into the first part of next week, honestly. But we'll do a video. I probably won't do one tomorrow. Saturdays are slow. There's not a lot of activity. If there is, I'll throw something up. We'll get right on top of it, and I'll make sure you guys know what's going on. But yeah, I think that wraps it up. I'm going to drop a Solana video later today, so take a look at that. And if you enjoyed the video, hit the like button, tap the subscribe, hit the bell notification. You'll get notifications as soon as we upload a video. And don't forget to leave us a comment. It helps the YouTube algorithm. And honestly, I really love reading what you guys have to say. It's been a sure pleasure. But you'll also find a link to BitUnex. That'll get you some sweet deals and some cash back on your trading, and you'll find a link to my X down there as well. But come over and talk to me at the Crypto School. I post all the charts there. Put the link in the description. All the charts are there. I call signals. A good group of coaches there that are going to help you up your trading game. So come on over and spend some time with us. I'd love to hear from you. And I'm going to wrap it up for today. I've got some work to do around the ranch, but I'll be back here after a while with this Solana video. This is Chris Hare, the Crypto Cowboy, wrapping it up. And we'll see you down the road.